What's up? Welcome back to another video. My name is Malcolm Tibbs. I spent 25 years getting inconsistent results in my love life, and now not only do I have a fulfilling relationship, I also have the ability to snap my fingers and have half a dozen dates lined up within a week. Now, I used to be the kind of guy who was saying things like, you need to be 6 feet tall and you need to make six figures and you need to be white or else women don't even pay you any attention, right? I used to be the guy who said you needed a faster car or you just needed to work harder and get even bigger in the gym and then you would be good enough to get girls. And the truth is that way of thinking is cope. You think like that because it keeps you from experiencing anxiety. Because the one thing that you need to do to actually get a girl is going to cause you a lot of anxiety. But you have to get outside the house and you need to go talk to women. Okay? That's going to include dressing up nice, getting a haircut, taking some nice pictures, and setting up a dating profile as well. But if you do these very basic things, right? You set up the dating profile, you send out all your likes every day, and you go outside and you start conversations with people in public, you're going to end up meeting really cool people, getting their contact information, and being able to set up dates, okay? I'm speaking from experience. I had about like a 6-month period last year where I decided, you know what, I want to get good at dating. I'm tired of being single. I'm tired of only getting women when they seem to want me. I want to be the one who can choose the girl, right? And so I went out of my way and I dedicated about 3 to 4 hours every single day where I would go outside and I would get uncomfortable. I would try to get rejected, or I would make sure that I sent all my likes, and I would spend like 30 minutes a day and I would send all my messages and, reply to everybody because I wanted to get a girlfriend. And I was tired of being single. I was tired of my family looking at me like I was getting a little bit too old to not have a girl come into Thanksgiving, So I went out and I solved the problem. And I'm here to tell you it's a very simple fix. There's nothing wrong with you. You don't need to get any richer. You don't need a better job, right? You're going to do better at almost everything once you get a girlfriend. And for all the people who feel like they're not sufficient, I want to paint this picture for you, right? This is an image that you've seen before, but if you're driving through any city in America where there's homeless people, without a doubt, you are going to come across, or you're going to drive by, a homeless man paired up with a woman, okay? Even homeless men who are at the very bottom of society, they have the skills required to date and find women and not go to sleep by themselves at the end of the night, okay? They're having sex, they're getting touch, right? They're experiencing intimacy. And these are men who don't have a car. These are men who are not 6 feet tall. These are men at the very bottom of the status hierarchy. And they're able to get a girlfriend. So it's not that you are insufficient in any area. It's just that you are unwilling to experience anxiety by doing the basic habits required to get a girl to notice you, to get her to accept giving you her contact information. And I'm going to make this clear. She knows you're not perfect. Okay? Every woman is well aware that any man that they're talking to has flaws. And that has not stopped a single man from getting a relationship or having sex or starting a family. Okay? You're not perfect, and you know she's not perfect, and that isn't a requirement for love or intimacy or relationships, okay? You just have to get outside of your comfort zone and go do some very basic behaviors in order to attract that woman. Listen, if you want to land your first date in the next 30 days, click on the link in the description below. The link is going to take you to an online community filled with other single men who are focused on improving their dating skills, and it's completely free. You can swap notes, get feedback, and even find a wingman in your area. Inside, you're going to find a 30-day challenge, which goes over all the steps that you need to start taking in life to be able to land your first date within 30 days. I really want to harp on this idea that you need to improve yourself before you're going to be able to get a girlfriend, because that way of thinking is just backwards. You're going to improve yourself much faster once you have a girlfriend, okay? Now, having a bigger house, having bigger muscles, making more money, those things help, all right? They help in a lot of different ways. But at the end of the day, Getting a girlfriend requires a certain set of skills that you are never going to develop by making more money or going to the gym, okay? It requires you to get outside the house. It requires you to go talk to strangers. It requires you to put yourself out there and then to learn the basics of a conversation with strangers so that you can get a phone number and eventually set up a date and then turn that date into a sexual interaction, all right? That is a set of skills, and you're not going to learn that by making $1 million a year, okay? Again, look at the homeless man. He doesn't make jack shit, and he still knows how to get a woman to spend time with him, okay? So you are lacking, if you are this man, you're lacking this set of skills, and trying to improve yourself isn't gonna help you do any better. But here's the catch. Once you have that girlfriend, once you set up the skills of being able to, navigate a conversation and turn it into a phone number and charm somebody, even seduce somebody, you're going to be much better at getting those high paying opportunities. All right. You're going to be much better at being comfortable in the gym, making more friends. And it's going to be like, what's that saying? Once it rains, it pours. All right. Once you get the ball rolling, you're going to notice that almost all other areas in your life starts to improve. All right. And I'm speaking from experience. Get the girlfriend, and you want to find a woman who supports you. All right. It's going to be nice if she's super hot. And if that's your thing, then that's your thing. But in my personal experience, you want a woman who is going to support you through whatever endeavor that you embark on. All right. You want a little cheerleader. And again, she's going to naturally embody this like feminine role where she's just so ready to support you that she's going to be doing your clothes and she's going to be cooking meals for you. And if that means that she has to be answering sales calls for you, then she's going to be your employee. Whatever it takes in order to help you reach your goals, because that's what she wants. That's the kind of woman that you want to be looking for. Okay. And I promise you, when you find that woman, when you have somebody like that on your team inside of your corner, you are going to go so much harder than you ever thought that you could, because you're going to have much more of a reason to give a fuck. Just point blank simple. You're going to have this constant source of validation saying, you know what? Maybe I can quit the job and maybe I can start the business. Maybe I can start dressing like this. And maybe I can even go out of my way and start being a little bit more charming or even more playful with people throughout my life, because I do have this constant source of reassurance, of validation, right? I promise you, you find that girl and everything's going to change. But that's all that I have for you guys. Hopefully you got something good out of this video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, share this with a friend. And also check the description down below if you want to land your first date within 30 days. That's all I have for you guys.